I think sometimes we just gotta be willing to turn down some stuff. You can't pack it all in. And I'm learning this even as a speaker. Now for me, it's easier than you. Here's why it's easier. I don't have a 5 p.m. in New York City tonight. I'm pretty sure I couldn't make that. My conflicts are pretty clearly delineated. But if it's close, I'll try to push it. And it never works well. Let me give you an example. A couple years ago, I got this great idea. I was going to have the following 3-day schedule. Gave a talk in Wednesday evening in Atlanta. Early evening talk. It was about an hour long. It was wonderful. What else would you expect? Get in the car, go to the airport, fly across the country to Seattle. Now I'm giving a full-day seminar the next day, not in Seattle, Washington, in Lake Wenatchee, Washington, which is about a 4.5-hour drive from Seattle. Get there at midnight, drive across Washington, get in the hotel about 5 o'clock, enough time to get a couple hours sleep, shower, change, new suit on. I give a seminar, full-day seminar. It's wonderful. What else would you expect? Get back in the car, drive 4.5 hours back to the airport because I have a red eye. The red eye will get me to Boston for 8 a.m. keynote. Now my plan is good because my plan is that I will sleep on the red eye. The problem, unfortunately, is here's where it broke down. There's always some hitch in the plan. I thought I would sleep on the plane because I assumed I'd get an upgrade the first. I didn't. I had to sit in the back. Now you know how I feel about sitting back there. But it was worse. I'm not talking about good coach. I'm not talking about suburban coach like row 11, 12. I'm talking about row 38D. I don't know if you're that far back in coach by the bathroom, being in coach is like being in an episode of The Wire. Are there drug deals going on and drive-bys? It is horrible back there. I can't sleep back there with all that going on. Who's going to watch my wallet? I have a fearful night all night. I get to where I'm going. Finally, at the end, get a new suit on, get my 8 a.m. keynote. Now, here's the advantage I have that probably a lot of you don't have is that they often record me at work. They record you too, but they show me the tapes. They put them on the internet. I'm watching a couple days later because here's what was bothering me. I'm telling the stories in Boston and nobody's laughing. Now, you got to understand, let me take you behind the curtain somewhat. You probably don't realize this. I don't make up new jokes every time. I tell some of the same stories before. I've told this story before. I know where the laughter's supposed to be. There's no laughter at all in Boston, and I can't figure out what's going on. I watched the tape, now I know why. Remember, I've traveled 6,000 miles in the last 36 hours. I've slept about an hour or two. My timing isn't exactly precise. My diction and elocution, things that are never good, are not as crisp as they should be. As a result, when I'm telling the story, for instance, like with my wife, it sounded a little bit like this. And now I say, now where are they? Nobody's laughing because nobody can understand a word I say. Now, the only redeeming part is this, is that when I overcommit myself, you just get bad CLE. You can live with bad CLE. Let me give you a hint. You living with it now. You're going to be all right. When you overcommit yourself, though, property interests, sometimes liberty interests, are affected. It's important, all right? Don't sort of try to be a superhero.